Well, last summer, God asked me to fast from social media. Does that sound silly? He asked me to fast from especially Facebook. And that's super hard for me because 95% of my ministry is online. I moderate communities online, moms communities. I just do a lot online. I have the ability to reach far. And so I blog, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Google+. I mean, pretty much I'm everywhere. So he said to me last summer, I want you to step away from that because you know what? You're taking something good and you're turning it into something that's defining your worth. I mean, I would notice how many blog subscribers I had, and that would determine my day. Can I just be honest with you? I would look at the number of Facebook friends, and if it changed and went down, it messed with me. Please tell me I'm not alone. I would look at my numbers in my ministry, and that would determine my day, my mood, my value. And it messed with me big time. So when God called me away from this, it probably made sense. I mean, my rejection issues were off the chart. My insecurities were unmanageable by my husband. I was pretty wrecked. And so when he asked me to do this, I, of course, threw a temper tantrum because I'm thinking, how can I do that? I mean, I have to grow my platform, which is your following. For these publishers to want to publish what I'm writing, I have to have big numbers. I can't step away. Are you kidding me? Do you know what you're asking me to do? God said, do you not trust me with your numbers? Maybe not. But I've got this community that I moderate. I'm part of a team, and I have responsibility. But can you not find subs? All right. So I stepped away for the month of July. Of course, it had to be a month with 31 days, just to torture me. And I stepped away for the month, and you know what? I chose to walk away. And it was hard. Oh my gosh, it was hard because it's on my phone. It's on my iPad, it's on my computer. I can get to it. But I had to turn everything off, close it down, shut it down. And for the month of July, I walked away. You know what I realized? When God calls you from something and calls you to something, there's such a blessing in it. Do you know I had the sweetest month with Jesus? Because I had nothing better to do. I didn't open my computer much at all. I didn't blog. I didn't get online. I actually hung out with my kids and I liked them. I didn't find myself sitting at the computer trying to create and produce and find value there. I just kind of said, well, I'm trusting you with my numbers. I actually found myself exhausted. I didn't think I realized how tired I was, but striving all the time because I am that kind of a person. I just want to next battle, next battle, next battle. I was so tired. I slept more in that month than I remember sleeping ever. I was exhausted because I was working so hard for approval. And God said, we're done with that. And I said, you know, God, it's not like I'm doing something bad. I mean, I'm telling the world about you. I'm not running a puppy mill here. There is no meth lab in my basement. I am speaking about you. Why is that bad? And he said, because your whole sense of value is wrapped up in that. And that you've lost the focus. You're not doing it for me, you're doing it for you. I wonder what God is stirring in your heart right now with what I'm saying. What he might be telling you is time to walk away from. He's asking us to pour out us so that he can replace it with him. And I had a lot of me stuffed in me. I was serving my own interests. and not only his. I mean, I love the Lord. Oh my gosh, he's done amazing things in my life. But I get really caught up in me sometimes. I'm assuming I'm not the only one. So I wonder what God is calling you from. Maybe the better question is, what is God calling you to? Because maybe what he is asking is, he's calling you to find freedom. Freedom from a destructive habit or something that you've been doing that is not affirming or encouraging to you. Maybe it's just negative talk. Maybe you just absolutely beat yourself up every day with your words. And he wants to heal that in you because that's not how he sees you. Maybe he is wanting to restore a relationship, and he's calling you from hanging on to that bitterness and that justification. And he's asking you to restore this relationship. Do you know he just asked us to do that? We restored a relationship with my husband's parents after 9 years of not speaking. They live in Windsor. And she died 6 months after we connected with them. Maybe God is calling you to forgive an offense. Oh, we can store those up, girls. We got a little pocket right here that we just put them into. Or maybe you're dragging it because it's so big. Maybe you can't even carry it with you. You just have to go deposit your defenses at home when you get there, because you can't even carry it with you. It's so big. And he's calling you from that, and he's calling you to forgive. Maybe he has a new vision for your life that he's calling you to, or a new mission that he has for you. And he's stirring you up. And you're maybe confused about it. You're like, what the heck? What are you doing, God? What is this consistent, persistent message I keep hearing over and over everywhere I look? Maybe he is calling you to a greater level of trust. That's a tough one for us. Especially if you have an abusive background. That's a tough one because you're not going to trust anybody because you've got to be ready to rumble if it presents itself. Maybe he is saying, trust me with that. Trust me to heal what's going on in there. Maybe he is asking you to surrender to something. If I say the word surrender and like the hair on your neck goes up, you have the wrong definition of surrender. The world tells you surrender is a nasty, nasty thing for us women. But you know what surrender is? It is stepping behind the cross of Jesus. It's stepping behind him so that those darts that come at you don't land on you. He extinguishes them. So surrender doesn't mean you're a doormat. It doesn't mean you give up your womanhood or your rights. What it means is you stand behind Jesus and you let him extinguish those arrows that come at you. Wherever God wants you to be is better than where you are. Wherever God is calling you to is better than where he is calling you from.